Hey, you don't look confident, Bo. You don't look confident when you're doing that. You don't look confident.
Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar, sponsored by ChiefsBlitz.com, presented by UnderdogFantasy.com. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athen, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and hence
He got the winning Super Bowl touchdown.
Okay, got a catch. Anybody could have made that catch.
The Kansas City Chiefs select Josh Simmons, offensive tackle, Ohio State.
You did it, man. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Guys, y'all got it. Comment. Guys, y'all.
I don't know what the trade details are. Hold on.
Boom!
They got Worthy.
Xavier Worthy.
Isn't that crazy? It's been 11 months since the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and it's gone by so fast.
Oh, it's time to piss straight off. Pull up a picture of 81. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Rashad Smith.
Rashad Smith.
There it is. The Chiefs have done their perfect draft.
Dre's gone. I don't know where he's gone.
Yo, welcome to the show. It's a Chiefs Blitz night. Breaking down the plays, keeping everything tight. From my homes to the defense, we give you the scoop. Real talk, real stats, we the ultimate truth.
That's right, gang. We are back and better than our last show, we hope. This may be the first time that we've ever done a show coming off of 3 consecutive losses, so I'm not sure what you're going to get today. I don't know if you're going to get a lot of crying, a lot of complaining. I don't know, but we'll try to explain this thing away. But, gentlemen, how was the weekend? Still Nick Wright and first things first? I mean, that was fun, right?
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. Get to meet the guys, and did some little stuff with Fox and everything. But, man, a heck of a weekend. The internet is exploding right now. Everybody is stomping on the Chiefs. Everybody's saying they done. Hey, but the Kansas City put on for Fox. I'll say congratulations to that. Everybody showed up at Pound Light, even for back-to-back shows, and showed out at the stadium as well, man. So it was an amazing game that I seen yesterday. But it was a lot of games that happened as well that happened around the NFL that, and a lot of people complaining, not just Chiefs fans, about the tush push. A lot of people was complaining about that as well. And before we get all into that, go ahead, Dre, tell me how your weekend went.
My weekend went amazing. Both of my 2 teams besides the Chiefs pulled out. Injury kicked in, but we still got the job done. We got the job done. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Take that to heart, youngsters. Always pull out.
Always pull out.
Yeah. So with that said, man, we're gonna give how was your weekend, Lou?
Well, again, except for that game yesterday, everything seemed to be going pretty well. And then we got to sit through that. We'll get into a little bit more, but just the overall sense is that we'll just get into it later. I'll go off on a soapbox here, and I don't want to do that. So let's talk about our sponsor here, Underdog Fantasy Sports, Hensley.
Yeah, you can play right now in Missouri and win up to 5. Play 5 to get 50, wherever you can get with Underdog now. But hey, always play with Underdog, get your money up. Hey, I know a lot of people was picking high on the Chiefs yesterday, but it didn't happen. So, hey, play now in Missouri. Use the Chiefs Blitz code right there. Also, we got the, everything that's going on with Nick and his, his store and everything as well. You can get stuff for there for as well.
Yeah, plenty of opportunities out there. Obviously, you got the NFL, WNBA playoffs going on right now. You got, I think, the golf. I think the Ryder Cup. There might be something going on there for the Ryder Cup, but there's plenty of opportunities. Baseball still going on. So play 5. If you lose, you get 50 in bonus plays. Keep going. I mean, hey, there's plenty of opportunities. You can move your numbers around. You can play on individual players. It's a great game. So, and then Nick, if you sign up, you're gonna get a little bonus from his collection. So, yeah, here we go. There's one. And again, guys, it's sticker shock, but this ball is worth a hell of a lot more than $1,450. Let me tell you that. It's signed by 5 Hall of Famers, obviously all-time Chiefs, but actual gold jacket guys. They weren't called gold jacket guys by Hentz. He wasn't quite around at that time, but they actually got their gold jacket. So yeah, that's not a bad deal at all. And then the ultimate ride, you got a raffle here. I think what are they, $50, $100 a ticket, right? Go ahead and scan the QR code, get your ticket for a chance at Derek Thomas's Mercedes. And hell, if you don't win, it's a great charitable donation for what is it, the Third and Long, Derek Thomas and Neil Smith's foundation, as well as Drawn Cherry. So it is local. So somebody locally, hopefully, will be driving Derek Thomas's car sometime in October, I believe, and we'll be announcing the winner here on this show. Is that correct?
Correct.
I think that's what Nick said, and if it's not true or if I'm mistaken, Nick's going to make it happen. So,
so with that said, let's get it. Some of the tweets that's going around, the Chiefs Kingdom.
All right. So from Bleacher Report, Patrick starts the season 0-2 for the first time since his sophomore year of high school. Yeah. Ouch. Yeah, I mean, the world's not ending, but you can just see that this was not anticipated. Obviously, you get 2 great opponents to start off the season, but typically the Chiefs win 1-score games. I don't know how many in a row they had, like 15 before these past 2 games. The thing is, that's always going to regress back to the mean. If you're always in 1-score games, eventually it's going to catch up with you. You can't play with that margin for error being so skinny and keep coming out on top. So, you just got to be a little bit tougher early in games, take advantage of your opportunities, get a bigger lead, and let's close things out the way we should.
Yeah, man. First time, that's crazy. First time since high school, sophomore year in high school. It's crazy. And I seen this tweet, this morning. Go ahead and read it. Me, Lou.
Okay, so Daily Chiefs. I feel bad for Mahomes at the moment. He's outplaying Hurts by a mile, but Hurts' team around him has carried him. The Chiefs just don't have the dogs healthy at the moment to help Pat. And the one guy who was doing it with him in the first half is unfortunately having a very poor second half. I don't know. Maybe he's referring to Travis Kelce there.
Yep.
I don't know, but I guess even though Travis can have a productive season, I don't know that you can major in expecting him to be the dominant player that's going to help carry you that you used to get from him like a couple years ago, right? He can still be effective and help you, but he cannot be, like 50% of the offense where Patrick is having to do that on his own. So somebody else is going to have to step up while Xavier and Rashid are sidelined. So, yeah.
I mean, if you look at it, when they're talking about, losing your dogs. Like I said before, before the show, the Chiefs was passing the ball. Like people was making plays. You know what I'm saying? They was moving the ball. So when they said like, don't have them dogs, man, they got guys out there that was making plays. So on that part, I really want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? That was out there
who was making the plays? I honestly, it was most of it was Patrick running. I saw a couple catches here and there. Thornton had the one over the top late in the fourth quarter, but you really didn't see anybody separating. Travis had a couple catches where he was able to kind of get away, but everything else would just seem like so painful.
Like Hollywood was 5 for 5. He was 5 for 5 though. Like when the ball was on his way, he was still catching the ball though.
There was no explosion though. 5 for how many yards did he have? Like 30?
Yeah, 30 yards. But like
nothing downfield. It's really not helping you.
But if you look at
all, but they're not moving the ball consistently. There's no rhythm to the offense. They might have one good play. then it's like just pulling teeth and trying to get Patrick at least enough time to get a ball off. And there's really nothing happening downfield. So there's no explosive plays. I mean, really, outside of the one to Thornton, everything was dink and dunk and just not a whole lot. But the run game, my goodness.
But here's the thing is, though, with all that being said, like the Chiefs were still moving the ball.
No, it was a defensive game. Ball. They were in the game.
But they was moving the ball. They wasn't getting like held up. Like what I mean by held up is this: the Eagles defense wasn't putting clamps on the Kansas City Chiefs. They wasn't clamping them down like that. They was still moving the ball. They was doing what Chiefs do. They was doing the dink and dunk. Chiefs is known for the dink and dunking. They known for that, right? So when Thornton did get the opportunity, he was wide open. It was on Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
So they got separation. Like they got guys that can stretch the field.
He clearly missed them on the corner route before they hit him. You know,
that's what I'm saying.
I was going to say that. It seems to me that, Adam, this is just off the top of my head, but it really seems like Patrick's deep ball is much better when he throws it down the hashes versus down the sidelines. Right. For some reason, he's just more accurate in the middle of the field when he's throwing the ball like 30, 40 yards or further down the field. So I don't know if that's a thing, but just in my memory, just trying to figure it out, it just looks like he's a lot more accurate on those balls.
Yeah. But get some of the questions in there, Drake, because I know a lot of people is running up the chat right now.
Let's see. Ken said still offense average at best, predictable, even boring. King Mo says, what y'all think about giving Nico a shot?
Well, he went in when there was more injuries, right? When Hollywood had a little gimp in his foot before he came back. He did get a shot on offense, so maybe that'll continue while the three top guys are out. You know, if you count Royals as one of the three top guys. But we'll see. But the first comment, I agree with that because it seems like they're running pretty much the same offense they ran since 2015, right? The concepts all seem to be the same. The difference is there's no Tyreek on the field to just scare the hell out of the defense and have a lot of other guys just running wide open, regardless of who's out there. And even Coach Reed afterwards, and we hear them say this all the time, is we coach all the receivers to be able to play all the different positions, but they don't all play the different positions like at an elite level, right? You can make it through some plays or whatever, but it seems like they call the game the same regardless of who's in there, instead of maybe leaning a little bit more towards what those particular guys do well. And right now, I think, you know, for all we've said about Tyquan Thornton, especially me have said about Tyquan Thornton, if he's a guy that is showing you a little bit, maybe we work towards like some of the routes that he does the best, right? There's like some of the things that Patrick can get to him. Right. So anyway, I agreed with whoever said that.
All right, here we go. Dang.
Hold on. With that said, let's go right into what Mitch Schwartz said. Luke, take that down.
All right. So Mitchell Schwartz, obviously all pro right tackle for the Chiefs for many years. I don't know how many, he missed like 2 snaps his entire career. Great guy, great player. Would be nice if this offense could be something more than Pat scrambling and running guys over and scoring TDs. I'd love to see some more run game and a bigger commitment to it.
So with that said, can you get right into this question of the show?
So who's more to God, we're always looking for blame. Who's more to blame for the Chiefs' offensive struggles, Patrick or his supporting cast? You're in the hot seat there, Hence. You put yourself out there.
You want
You're the guy on the
end. You know how it go. You know how the game go, Hence.
You're the guy on the end.
You know how it goes, sir.
I have to say, you know me, a lot of people going to say Nagy, a lot of people going to say the running back room, a lot of people going to say this person, this person. I'm going to say, you know what I mean, we had to put the blame on Andy Reid, right? If you seen your offense was struggling, you seen your defense was out there, you know, handling the game plan, you know, out there, you know, making the Eagles look vulnerable, That's what they was doing. And then you go for it on 4th and 1 in your own, reds on your own back end of your field. So I had to put the struggle on this offense has got to be on the head coach. Andy Reid is known for one of the greatest mind sets out there and offense. When Andy Reid is the offense is looking good, everybody says Andy Reid. When offense is looking bad, everybody says Nagy. So when it's all said and done, it's Andy's Reid offense. It's his scheme. He's the one going to let the play come in. He the one's going to choose when it's all set.
There's a choice, hence.
Wow.
Patrick, or is he part of the supporting cast?
He's supporting cast. He's a supporting cast around him. So, like Mitchell Short said, man, we got to see more of the run game, and Andy Reid abandons the run game. And Kareem Hunt was getting a couple of yards. He was making some promising plays, and he went way away from it. So
I think they did hand off. I think they did hand off 20 times yesterday.
They did because
at least they did. At least they handed the ball off that many times.
Yeah, and Pac had 10 rushes. Man, Pac was 10 for 22. You know what I'm saying? You look at Hunt; he was 8 for 31. So they was running the ball, but guys, that's the Eagles' defensive front. I mean, it was a tough game. It was a tough game. To me, the struggles come from, I'm going to say, the supporting cast. The supporting cast, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had a hand in it, right? Everybody had a hand in it. To me, the biggest one for me was Travis Kelce. You know what I'm saying? Right there in the red zone. You dropped a for sure possible touchdown. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on, Travis. It's not, But for me, I would say the supporting cast.
Yeah, I don't think you can blame Patrick at all. I mean, he did miss some throws, and that's every quarterback is going to miss some throws here and there. But when you're in a tight game and the margins are so thin that the room for error is not great, you can't miss a field goal. You can't drop a pass at the goal line. You can't miss an open receiver because you're just not that team that's just able to say, we'll just come back and get it on the next play, where we were all used to seeing that for 3 or 4 years, right?
Right.
So the supporting cast, to some degree, Coach Reid, I wouldn't blame him for going for it at that time. Hence, I think I texted it yesterday to you guys.
It's the momentum.
It's not so much that. I think it was just kind of the play they came with. I don't know that they really play to the strength of this offensive line, right? You got mostly, and I'm not saying that they can't pass protect, but you've got some maulers and mashers up there. They don't run any power. They don't run any duo. They don't run any like double team. You don't see double team blocks. You see a lot of pulling and so forth. But I would think if you could get some plays that you're getting behind Creed and Trey Smith, that's a pretty good couple of guys to get out there to the second level and just kind of smash some people. If things aren't going well offensively, something to lean on, right? To something that you can kind of rely on. But I don't know that they practice those enough that they're really good at it. So if you're going in 4th and 1, what I said yesterday, don't take the ball out of your best player's hands. You don't want to see Patrick running all the time, but give him an opportunity. Even if he has to throw it, I'd rather see him throw it on 4th down than to just hand it off and hope that the offensive line is able to do their thing, especially if you're not giving them what they do best, right?
Yeah.
So,
hey,
Lou,
even with that being said, Lou, I still was impressed on the second time they went for it when they allowed offensive line to use that to be bullies, man, and they did go for it. I love that.
But again,
I loved it.
If you watch the play call, it's the same play call you would have seen 10 years ago as you saw yesterday.
Right.
They put Kareem in at fullback. Patrick does kind of a 180, and they do kind of like the inside handoff.
Yeah.
And if it's there, okay, you got it wide open, 1st down. But a lot of times that play gets stacked up again because they're asking, people to pull, and there's a lot of movement going on. And I'm saying not that you can't do that, but in short yardage, you might want to hit something quick hitter, get up on the line, get some drive, right? Let those guys mash a little bit. But it's
Trey Smith looked good, man. Trey Smith was the guy on that play. I like
what
Trey,
I'm saying
man.
is if you don't have the guy in Xavier, Tyreek, right? I mean, obviously he's been gone for a while, but it seems like almost like the offense is still being called as when they had like prime Tyreek and prime Travis rolling, when that was just like, if they didn't score on a possession, you were shocked because of how easily they moved the ball up and down the field. Now it's like the other way around. It's like, whoa, hey, we got something going here. It's like pulling teeth. But yeah, the supporting cast, I don't think it's so much a personnel thing, but just how they use the personnel, right? I mean, they're calling the game as if Tyreek or X is in there kind of putting pressure on the defense when that guy's not really available. Now, Thornton, maybe he can become that guy, but he's not that guy right now.
So let's get to what somebody said on Twitter. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Straight from X. I understand your question, but Veach should have addressed all of them in the offseason. That's his job. Priority, running back, killing us. Defensive end, having to blitz constantly is untenable. 3, wide receiver, endless problems. Well, that one's more, I mean, he's been drafting wide receivers and they've had injuries, so I'm not going to get too crazy on that. Quarterback, blitzing constantly makes cornerback so important. So, yeah, I'm sure he had his list to go over. They've invested a ton in the offensive line. So either you made some poor decisions, or maybe, and I haven't said this before, but maybe they're not being coached properly. Or they're misplaced. I mean, they have certain things that they do really well, and it doesn't seem like this offense is being called to their strengths. Right. So I'm repeating myself a bit, but yes. And on defense, those defensive ones, I don't know that there's no elite pass rusher on this team. Chris Jones to some degree from the inside, but again, at a certain point, you start to slow down a little bit, right? I'm not saying he's lost it by any stretch, but they don't have, I mean, they've got some good pass rushers, but there's no game changers, right? So they're having to bring zero blitz. And even with all those zero blitzes they did yesterday, it wasn't like they were putting Hurts on the ground. Forced them into some bad throws. You saw the dreaded high ball for Cuffs, which that just seems like it's going to be a problem for him for his entire career. For some reason, he's there in phase or whatever, but as soon as the ball gets there, he gets boxed out.
And that's the thing with the Chiefs DBs always have problems.
And it wasn't even AJ Brown. I think it was Devontae Smith, who's the slim keeper. He's not a big guy. So
yeah, man.
I know there's a lot there, and we're jumping around a little bit.
Lou, it's the awareness of
anything else.
It's the awareness of the DBs, Lou. That's been going on for years with the Chiefs DBs.
And the Brashard Smith thing is, I'm thinking, why did you draft him? Get him on the field. I think they gave him the ball once. Yeah. What was the point of doing that? I think he was in there for like 2 or 3 snaps. The way Philadelphia was playing defense, I think they were kind of like rushing. They were talking about like rushing as a unit, trying to keep Patrick in the pocket because eventually they were going to get the push and sack him. So that kind of opens up the wings or the flats or whatever, which you would think Brashard Smith, that would be where he would eat. You know, I mean, in terms of either pitch it to him or throw forward passes, backward passes to him, whatever, just get him the ball in space and see what he can do. So that's got to happen at some point.
With that said, let's get into the next question.
All right. Was the tush push a fair and decisive play, or should the NFL reconsider its rules?
Yeah, I think
Hensley, I know you have an opinion on this thing.
I think they should reconsider the rules, man, because if they ain't gonna call the false starts, if they ain't gonna call the offensive lineman leaving a line scrimmage before the ball is snapped, you know what I mean? And you seen a lot of that yesterday, even when it came to Taylor, right? You know, when Taylor was, jumping false start, you know what I mean? The announcers on 41, outed him, and, then it came a big thing around the league. So I think this, you've seen it everywhere on NFL, Good Morning Football and, ESPN. a lot of people are just starting to say that, hey, this has got to be taken out of the game. Because if the defensive line can't jump off sides or give advantage, it's going to take a superstar to get hurt under that power. Before they start considering. Because you got a lot of guys, legs is down there getting pushed on, people getting ran over, piled up on top of. I know it's a good play for the Eagles, but as you look at the game, you see a lot of guys is false starting.
Right.
False start over and over and over and over again, and the refs wasn't doing nothing about it, wasn't saying anything about it. And now that not even just Chiefs fans, I just seen it for every fan base on Twitter that said this has got to be gone. You know what I mean? Even some Eagles fans was like, yeah, we've seen some all-stars, but you know what I mean, this has got to be going out of the lead. It's not a fair play for everybody. You know what I mean? Because you can see if they run an offense, they're like, hey, we got the refs on our side. The ref ain't gonna call a false start when we get up down to the 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1 or 2nd and 1. We're gonna always can run this play. With no repercussions that comes with it. So I think the rules have to be changed. I think it probably be changed in the mid-season. You know what I mean? When it's all said and done.
Man, honestly, just ban the whole damn the whole system, ban the whole tush push, man, because you can't see nothing. You can't see shit. If somebody's offsides, if somebody does make a fumble, because word is Drew Tranquil had the ball, right? He had the ball from got the ball from Hurst, right? We didn't see shit. Right. We didn't see nothing. You couldn't even have a clear vision. I'm like, damn, did he really have it? Because after everybody at the whole smoke was cleared, Drew had the ball. Right,
because he punched Chris Jones punched the ball out before it was when they snapped it, he pushed it out the guy's hand and it wasn't like went down and grabbed it. So
it's like, but you can't clearly see what's going on. The offsides guys, like see it, but even with
replay, it's there's just so many huge bodies, And again, I don't know if it would be any different if you're just running a typical quarterback sneak. There is a little bit more clarity, in a regular quarterback sneak. But I think, hence, you're right. I think it's more so how the referees choose to officiate or not officiate it. If you're watching the Fox broadcast yesterday, they go to their official that comes in when they have a question on a rule or something, Dean Blandino, and he was exasperated. He goes, I've had enough of just this whole officiating. Right? And that's kind of and he used to be the head of officials before Fox hired him, kind of like Gene Steratore does on CBS for them. But and the thing is, if they're not going to call that. First off, the offense already has an advantage because they know what the snap count is.
Right.
So, and they're pushing forward and they're people pushing behind them. So now the defense is at a disadvantage. Now, all of a sudden, if you're allowing the offensive line, not the center, hell, his head is well past that ball by the time he snaps it. Right. And you see the other guys, they're anticipating it, and so if you're not going to officiate it properly and you're just going to sit there and say, well, you got to stop us. Well, it's got to be within the rules too.
Right.
So you can take all the rugby stuff and whatever, forget all that. If you're going to have the play officiated properly, it's just like any other call in a basketball game or whatever. If the referees start allowing guys, swinging elbows when they get a rebound, and just doing things that are against the rules and they don't call it, sure, the players are going to push it as far as they possibly can until there is a call,
because there's no rules to it. There's no rules.
Exactly. So it was almost voted out this year. I'm guessing next year, unless moving forward the rest of this season they have the referees officiating it properly. If they can get them to stop with the fault, kind of going ahead of the ball, maybe it has a chance to stay. But I think either way, next year when they vote on it, or in the spring when they vote on it in the league meetings, I think you're going to have more than 24 teams saying, you know what, these refs can't. I mean, it's just impossible for them to even see this or call this.
Even with the new technology, it's still hard to see it.
Replay. They still got to spot the ball, so the referees can't see it. So Anyway, yeah,
unless they put a chip in a ball or something to see when the ball was.
That, I mean, I mean, it's hard, especially like in that scrum. If somehow Tranquil comes up with the ball, if nobody saw it happen,
you seen it before. You seen it before the play. Chris Jones punched it out.
Yeah,
you see the ball moved, and you seen Drew Tranquil grab it. Then he came up with the ball. But hey, you know, it's here and there, you know. But let's get what John said. Drake, go ahead.
The NFL really needs to address the tush push, not banning it. Just allow ref in the booth to call a false start because they aren't on the field. Also, a damn center can't line up on top of the ball.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what we've been saying. And hopefully that replay assist is the one that just comes in and says, you know, nope, they were ahead of the ball, 5-yard penalty. And I would think that, you know, calling that even just a few times will kind of correct. It'll self-correct, and guys will just say, you know what, we can't do that, and they'll just start playing the play.
And then you play action pass. Then I remember one game the Eagles did. They came out with a play action pass out of the tush push. And like the damn play is just like it's
well, that's fine. I don't have any problem with that. It's just you just do it fairly. I don't, you know, whatever. They keep the play, don't keep the play.
The thing is, how would you do it fairly though? Like, there's no anything fair about the tush push.
Well, you call it when they false start, because if they have to play it honestly, in other words, they're not getting a jump on it, you may have a much better chance of stopping it like any other quarterback sneak.
Just go back to the quarterback sneak shit.
So with that said, let's get into the next question, Luke.
Okay, so was the Eagles' defense performance a fluke or a sign of an elite unit?
Oh, that's elite.
I'll say it's a fluke, because you seen that when Patrick Mahomes and them had time, or if he had his stars receivers, if he had Rashee Rice and this person, that person, I think this would have been a different outcome of this game, right? You know what I mean? Because I don't think their defense like it was last year, when they had guys that can rotate, and, you know, in and out. They don't have that same luxury anymore. They don't have that same, identity anymore. Even when they was playing the Cowboys, they looked vulnerable. When they was playing the Chiefs, they looked vulnerable. It's just the Chiefs was biting their own stuff in the foot with turnovers, going for it on 4th and 1, and penalties and everything else like that. Now, if you get Patrick Mahomes, some guys that he can get the job done with, I think he can get it done. If you have Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, heck, if they trade for Tyreek Hill to come back, I think you'll probably see a different outcome in this Eagles in this offense. Now we can say signs of elite. It's a lot of defenses around the NFL that's showing the signs of elite. I won't say elite, for the Eagles defense. I can say they playing within their scheme, but I won't say it's elite unit. No.
I say definitely that rookie number 24, Andre Makuba. What's his name, Lou? I know it's Andre Makuba. Makuba was everywhere. Yeah. He was blitzing heavy. He had a key interception, man. That guy was everywhere. A clutch tackle on Hollywood Brown. That guy was everywhere. And he got him with Cooper DeJean. Then you got Mitchell out there. They got a good unit for real. They got a good unit. They got a damn good unit, man. They missed a couple pieces. They got sweat over there in Arizona. That boy Milton played for New England
Patriots.
Yeah, for the Patriots, whatnot. But other than that, they played very well together.
Yeah,
there's a legit unit over there, man. They playing well.
I don't know. You see, the first 2 weeks they really escaped in those games, right? I mean, they didn't really do anything out of the ordinary offensively or defensively, quite frankly. I know they put some pressure on Patrick, but he did have some open receivers. Huge question mark at cornerback too. I know Adoree Jackson was doing his best. I mean, if the Chiefs would have had, some more seasoned receivers out there, I think they might have, maybe hit some more big plays down the field, or if Thornton would have, I don't know, if Patrick would have trusted him a little bit more, or maybe thrown him the ball a few more times. But no, you hit the nail on the head. They lost several guys. So they're really asking a bunch of younger players to step up. Much as we were saying about the Chiefs defense and saying, okay, some of these young guys have to kind of step up, take a leadership role and so forth. Even though they're second-year guys or a rookie player, can you really expect them to do that? So The Eagles, it's going to be a work in progress. I think Fangio's got his work cut out for him, but these first 2 weeks, again, Dallas was moving the ball a hell of a lot better than the Chiefs were, but they were shooting themselves in the foot when they got in the red zone. Chiefs had every opportunity to win that game, right? As bad as things were offensively, they were in that game and had every opportunity to win it, and they just didn't make the plays that they normally make.
Let's forget Carr didn't play the first game, though. So, hey, I'm throwing it out there. Carr didn't play.
Okay, let's get into the next question.
All right. So, will this loss be a wake-up call for the Chiefs or a sign of deeper issues?
Go ahead and say it, Bo. Go ahead and say it.
I just say it's a wake-up call. I don't think it's no deeper issues. Hey, the demon is still there. Patrick Mahomes is still there. Travis Kelce, if he, wake up, I don't think it's no sign of deeper issues. I think this team is just continue to get in their way. It showed that it's a little bit of what like last year offense was doing is kind of catching up with them, like Lou said at the beginning of the show. It's showing like this what they did last year, the wide receivers, right? You should have did what the Packers did, like the guy said in the draft. You should have, you said on Twitter, you should have drafted, wide receivers, running backs, the guys that you actually need to, fill this roster. If you look at the Chiefs, they always bring back guys that actually been on the team, not going to go get guys like, putting somebody else on somebody else's roster to bring them in here. No, if you like your guys said on Twitter as well, you got the wide receivers, guy from Patriots practice squad, other guys and stuff like that. I have to say it's a wake up call, and or could it be a different issue? Could it be the GM? A lot of people blaming Brett Veach right now, even though he won three, got you 3 Super Bowls. I don't know, 4 Super Bowl appearances. So I think it's just it's gonna be a wake up call. Look out for the Giants game coming up next.
Hey, I think Chris Jones woke up. You know what I'm saying? He woke up, right? He woke up, said some word, but Hurts said let him know, like, hey, we won the goddamn game, baby. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. It is a wake up call. Chris Jones was barking. He's tired. He hasn't really been productive at all, guys. That's really facing. He hasn't been productive in a minute. But his mouth has been running. His mouth definitely been running. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a wake up call for the defensive front, guys. George didn't step up. George didn't have a good day. And of course, Norman Lott had a hell of a tackle, a hell of a sack. But other than that, where was the pressure at? Where was the immediate pressure? You know what I'm saying? And that's, to me, it can be a deeper issue too, because going down the stretch, no matter what team you go against, you got to get pressure. It can't keep coming from Chris Jones. We can't keep putting everything on Chris Jones. Everybody else has to step up.
You paid him $100-some million. You got to put stuff.
I feel you. But George got to step up too. George gonna have to be the guy. So there was what I'm saying. There's no excuse.
Well, the entire defensive line has to do better at getting pressure on the quarterback. But overall, I thought the defense played a pretty strong game. Right? They didn't give up many yards. They didn't give up a ton of points, and they were put in some precarious positions by the offense a couple of times, and they gave up field goals. So I thought the defense played very well, but they just didn't have those game-wrecking plays. They didn't get a strip sack. They didn't get many sacks at all outside of Lott's play, and that was kind of a coverage thing because he was back there. He was back there again. I was telling my daughter was here for a bit. That dude's making a sandwich. He's doing his taxes. He's making phone calls, and there's all these guys around him. Like nobody can get to him. What are we doing? But wake up call. I think the wake up call was before this game, right? So, and I think they came out with a little bit more juice, but it really wasn't enough offensively. And again, I don't know. It runs deeper, I think, in terms of how I don't want to say they are stubborn about it, but I think maybe they are, is where the offense is called the same regardless of the personnel, right? Where, you want to try to call the plays that these guys can execute the best. And that's what Coach Reed always says. Well, I take full responsibility. I could have called some things that put guys in better positions. Well, I think that's kind of the definition, is to make sure that we don't just call it as if Tyreek was out there or as if Xavier Worthy was out there taking the top off or just like kind of slanting the defense one way or the other, right? And then also with the offensive line, kind of play to their strengths. Now, again, I don't think they really do a lot of practicing in the run game or what they do. It just doesn't seem like they're playing to the offensive line strengths, right? And again, I'm not saying that you're not going to throw.
So where is the strength, Luke? Where is the offensive line strength?
I
Luke?
think they want to come off the ball, right? They want to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
They want to mash. So again, if you're double teams, I mean, even just some simple, basic, old-fashioned football plays where you're double teaming guys, where you're coming up and just see how that goes, right? And if you get some confidence in some of the guys that maybe don't have as much confidence right now, aka Jawan Taylor. Where maybe if he gets some confidence moving forward instead of moving backwards all the time to pass pro, then those pass protection ones are not as difficult for him.
Well, I think it's got to be. I know you. I'll go back on your question. It's like, they practice it more. Do that blame come back on Andy Reid? Or do it go back on Nagy? Because
they do have a style. I mean, and it's worked. So it's hard to say, well, we're just going to completely flip the script. But I think you have to have that club in your bag if they're not protecting as well for the pass. So that in tough times that maybe you can lean on something a little bit different. Because right now, I don't know that there's anything that they can lean on that they're doing really well.
Because right now,
everything's just kind of all over the place.
So right now, if when it's all said and done, you gotta, look at, was it like I've been saying all off season, before the season started, before even the draft started. I said you got to build the ultimate roster, and it kind of looked like the Chiefs haven't built the ultimate roster. You knew the Rashee Rice suspension was coming. You knew Xavier Worthy was small, and he could be, something probably can happen to him because the weight size, and you knew the offensive line was going to be young as well. You see what the Eagles and the Cowboys and everybody else is doing. They out there signing guys, and the Chiefs brought back Isaiah Pacheco, knowing that he can't read the holes, knowing he can't the vision ain't there, and a lot of people are saying that we need a running back. Oh, well, and then Brett Beach come out and say, oh, this running back draft room is very heavy. It's very deep. Then he go get a guy in the 7th round again. So when there was other running backs on the board that he could have grabbed in the 3rd or 4th round.
There's only so many picks. I mean, we talked earlier, pick more receivers, pick more running backs. Well, they needed an offense. They needed a left tackle. So that was a given, right? So first round's gone. 2nd round, you got to, you lost a couple of interior defensive linemen, Noddy and Tershawn Wharton, especially Tershawn Wharton, because he was, pretty damn good player. So you bring in Norman Lott. Okay. It's not the top of the second. Well, you need a pass edge rusher, really stout defensive end. You bring Gelati in. So I'm not going to question the picks. If they had more picks, yeah, certainly. But at some point, you got to coach the guys that you have and improve with the guys that you have, because you are paying a lot of guys a lot of money, especially on the offensive line.
They
went out and signed a free agent offensive lineman.
So here's the thing, though, guys. Like me looking at the stats, man, 'cause I know Hens was referring to running backs. I mean, Hunt averaged 3.9 to carry. Pac had 2.2, and Smith, when he did get his time, man, averaged 2 yards per carry. So is it the running backs, bro?
He got 1 carry.
one carry for 2 yards, man.
Yeah.
So here it is, right? So is it the running backs, bro, or is it the offensive line?
No, I think it's the running backs, man. Let me say this. I don't think it's the running backs. I think it's I'm gonna call it, man. Call it egg with an egg, and bird. It's the play calling, man. It's been going on since last year. It's the play calling, and a lot of people ain't gonna want to come in because we've been making the playoffs. But we all knew this day was gonna come. We knew that the offenses, with the defense. How many times can you look up how many times the Chiefs had the ball yesterday? How many times the Eagles punted the ball, right? How many times the Chiefs had the chance to score? My son was sitting there like, man, you're leaving the defense on the field too long, they're gonna get tired. And what happened in the back end? They got tired. They go deep ball, come over the top. He caught the ball, even though Duffy was there. So, when it's all said and done, it comes down to the play calling. You can sit here and say, somebody had this many snaps or this snaps. If you can't see what you have in the running backs, right? If you're not giving them chances, you give Brashard Smith one carry when he had what 1,700 yards in college. You know what I mean? He showed what he can do in the backfield in college, and you ain't giving the guy a chance. So and also show what he can do out the backfield as well. You're not giving him a chance. We can sit here and say this, that, and that. The offensive line. It all comes down to play calling. You had all many opportunities yesterday. The defense was playing a butt off. The Eagles punted the ball multiple times, and you was still out here dinking and dumping and say, hey, are we going to play to the strengths of our defense instead of getting the offense going? Even though, like Lou said, even though the guys, if Thornton down there, run a route, even though, like I said to my son yesterday, even though he don't catch the ball, still throw it down there somewhere, for, the defense can honor that and back up. Now that opens it up the running game and everything else.
The one he hit, hence, though, it was like one of the few times he had time to let him get down the field and still throw the ball. Now, the one he missed, that was on Patrick. I don't know if Thornton was kind of an option. He has to read the defense to say which way he's going to break the route. And they weren't on the right page. But obviously that was clearly a miss. But it's hard for the running back because, ultimately this is a passing team.
Right. Exactly.
So you're not going to practice a lot of these running plays a lot. There's only so much time during the week to really hone in on what the game plan is going to be and whatever. So you got to go back to some training camp reps. How much are they working on it there? I don't know. But
do you think the style should change? You think the Chiefs should be more physical up front and run the ball a whole lot more?
And I think it may not be the actual plays, but just the style that they are playing is where maybe this team, this group of guys, as far as the offensive line is concerned, they're pretty good at pass protection. They have to be, but you see Patrick having to run for his life a lot. He's waiting for stuff to develop downfield, or he's getting more depth than they expect him to. He's not stepping through the pocket as they expect him to. So that's kind of a function of Patrick being Patrick. You're always going to have to deal with that. Quarterbacks that move around a lot. The offensive line is going to have issues trying to figure out, okay, where is he? Where am I blocking towards? And then in some cases, they just get their asses beat. It doesn't matter what Patrick does, and they're through, and he's getting sacked, or he's having to find some space just to throw the ball away.
You made a good point. Even with the throws that Patrick Mahomes made to Travis Kelce, man, Travis got to make those catches too.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's no question. that was obvious right there. That's a game-changing play. That's a 14-point swing right there. And we're so used to all those games last year and in previous years, they make that play. Right. Mm-hmm. Whereas the Eagles end up making the play, and then they kind of close it out the way they close out games. I'm just interested to see if they make any sort of changes to the way they're calling the game, and then also if they try to run plays that enhance the current guys that are out there playing. They're calling plays now like Rasheed's on the field, like Xavier's on the field, because hey, we've trained all these guys to play all the different positions, but they're not at the same talent level or effectiveness level. So it's just kind of hard to watch sometimes when guys are doing things that they're really not suited to do.
Mm-hmm. Right. So let's get to the last question of the rematch.
All right. So is this Super Bowl rematch a better indicator of each team's current identity than the previous one?
I would say I say it's the same. The previous one is still the outcome, right? The same outcome for the Chiefs. The offense still looks to like they was in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? It looked like they couldn't move the ball. You know what I mean? So and the Eagles defense looked like they still dominate the offense, but the defense, still shut down, Saquon Barkley. It still looked like like the previous game, but it had a different outcome for me. You know what I mean? It was like any Reed offense was still getting out coached by what's the Eagles defensive coordinator? Used to be with the Broncos. What's his name?
Fangio.
Yeah, Big Fangio. So he's been still getting out coached by him. So I think it's I think it's just this same game, different outcome for me.
To me, indicator of each current identity. I think it is. I think with the like D-Hop leaving and whatnot, and you see if D-Hop would have made that play, the outcome of that Super Bowl would have been different. And if you look at this team right now, this is the same type of Chiefs team, right? I think what happened was you starting to see our Chiefs team that is really dialed in. I think we got a chance to really see who Travis Kelce really is besides the drop. That energy of Travis Kelce wouldn't show in the Super Bowl. So this game right here shows Travis Kelce when he's amped, when he's really dialed in. I think this is the Kansas City Chiefs team that we all want to see in the Super Bowl. So I think this is an indicator of the Chiefs team that we all know.
Well, the Eagles' defense isn't nearly as good as it was last year.
Right.
I think we've established that. Now, can it get better as the year goes on? I think these younger guys, maybe they grow into their roles. Maybe they figure out a plan for the second cornerback. So maybe they get a little bit better. I think their offense is kind of herky-jerky. Now, they hit some big plays in the Super Bowl, right? But A.J. Brown, you would think, he's one of the top, I don't know, you have to say he was the top 5 receiver in the league. You don't really see him touching the ball a lot. You don't see Devontae Smith really touching the ball a lot. Dallas Goedert was out yesterday. So
I was about to say that.
What did they really do offensively? It really wasn't that great. And the Chiefs defense, I thought, played a little bit better. I thought the Chiefs offensive line was a little bit better in this game, but not to the point where they were able to move the ball. So, I mean, I think both teams are really searching for what their identity is going to be for this season, for sure. The Eagles just have been able to squeak out the first 2 games versus the Chiefs losing the first 2. So now it looks like the Chiefs are like falling by the wayside. After tonight, one of those teams, the Chargers or the Raiders, are going to be 2-0. Chiefs are going to be 2 games behind the division after 2 games. That's not great, but hopefully as they kind of try to figure this whole thing out, they get Xavier back, and maybe he's only 80%, but maybe he puts some fear into the other defenses, kind of ride it out until Rasheed gets back. So now you've got some players you have to account for if you're on the other defense. So I think both teams work in progress, and they're nowhere near what they were last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, read what some of the people said, Coach.
The Chiefs are still a work in progress. That's what Dame said. Like what Lou just stated. Worthy was out. Rasheed Rice is out. Hell, Jalen Royals out. So you didn't have your key weapons out there. But for me, I don't know. For me, looking at it, I think the Chiefs played better than what they played in the Super Bowl. I think the Chiefs had a little more urgency in this game. You know what I'm saying? That's the Chiefs that we all know.
Certainly did.
So it's a sense of urgency from the Chiefs that they didn't have in the Super Bowl.
That game was just like an avalanche early, and they just didn't have it early in that game.
Exactly.
Now, I don't call anybody out, but I'm going to call somebody out here. I love Travis. Okay, great, been a great player, all timer, gold jacket, got the ring, got everything. Did you see after he juggled that ball?
Right, I'm about to say that.
What happened after that?
Yeah, I see what happened. He let up on the play. He stopped running. He just walked towards the sideline.
Now they still, obviously the Eagles still end up scoring, but Josh Simmons, he's an athletic freak. The speed he showed at the size he is and
chase
cutting that
down.
dude down on the sideline was amazing. So hopefully when they watch the film, that whoever's on the clicker and like freezes it and says, okay, look where Josh Simmons is right here when Makuba picks it off, and watch where Josh Simmons ends up at the end of this play. That's, you don't quit, right? You don't know what's going to happen. Maybe he fumbles, maybe whatever, anything can happen. So that was a little telling. In terms
real quick, John says the Giants had given up 355 yards rushing in 2 games. They need game plan for the run, right?
Yeah,
and we was talking about it, like, don't know with Andy Reid, because he might, like I say, he might be stubborn. He might don't want to do it. He might want to still stick to what he's doing.
Well, to his credit, they handed off, what was it, 10 times against the Chargers. They handed off 20 times against the Eagles. So maybe he works in a few more. But again, at some point, I don't know when it's going to be or what Brashard Smith has to prove to them in practice that he deserves more touches, because they don't have a lot of explosive right now on their team. And he's one that could potentially provide that. Get him the ball in space somehow and see what he can do. It can't be any worse than what they're rolling out there now.
You just said a whole lot, man. Like, give the man an opportunity, man. Just give him an opportunity. But again,
so it must be maybe it's a pass protection thing. Maybe they're not confident in that, but
I don't know, John.
At some point, you got to get him out there.
Got a question from Mango he wanted to put in. He said, how long can this go on before questions are asked if Andy Reid or Nagy future with the organization is in jeopardy?
Yeah, no chance at all. None. I mean, absolutely none. I mean, they've won 3 Super Bowl. I mean, they've got the pelts on the wall. I mean, that's never going to be. No, that's not going to come up. And now, I could see potentially, if like behind the scenes, if for some reason or another that just Coach Reid wants to go in a different direction. In the past when they brought in when he first got Alex Smith and they brought in Coach Alt from Nevada, because they were running the pistol with Colin Kaepernick when he was at the University of Nevada. They brought Chris Alt in as a consultant to work with them to put the pistol offense in for Alex Smith, right? Then later on, he brings in who was the guy? He used to coach at Minnesota. He was an offensive coordinator with the Eagles, Brad Childress. They brought him in just to kind of like oversee the offense. Okay, what are we seeing here? What are some of the new things going on out there? I think maybe it's gotten a little stale. Like I said, they're running it. I mean, just from memory, from just watching some plays, you saw some of these plays with Alex Smith and Kareem Hunt against New England back when Kareem was a rookie. And yeah, he was a lot faster then. It was a lot more juice. And the offensive line was a little bit more set, and they had some players. But they're trying to run the same things, it feels like, and even the passing concepts. But you had Tyreek that could like run by anybody. So yeah, it looked a hell of a lot different than it does now. So maybe they just need some eyeballs from the outside that he trusts, Gruden or somebody, to kind of critique kind of what they're doing and kind of compare it to maybe what some other teams are doing, some other things that they can do to kind of keep it fresh. And because whatever they were doing that was just crushing the league for 3 or 4 years, defenses have finally caught up to it.
Right.
Well,
so now it's that, maybe some adjusting. I don't know for sure, but that's just what, from my view, that's kind of what I see.
That's what I see. Because I just got some news.
We already have a number 10, Hensley. We already have a number 10.
I just got some news that said the Kansas City Chiefs are interested in trading for Tyreek Hill per Mike Laurel. So bring back 10 fast as you can, and then bring this offense back. Because you don't break up the two. You don't break up. Like I said, you don't break up the two high school. Lovers. You don't break it up. Right? You look at the house, you say, these are the guys.
Brittany Mahomes on line one.
Yes,
Brittany
so
Mahomes on line one.
bring back Tyreek Hill. Yes, we can say, what we gonna have with Xavier Worthy, or what we gonna have with Rashee Rice is all thoughts and what we could have, but we know what we had in hand. We know what Tyreek Hill brought to the field. We know Tyreek Hill brought the field.
I think we have a pretty good book on what Rashee's capable of and kind of how he's growing. And Xavier came on at the end of last year. We kind of know what we have there.
Well, we kind of know what you have, but it ain't no Tyreek Hill. Like I said, like I was telling my son yesterday. I said, if they do bring back Tyreek Hill, right? Imagine they got Xavier Worthy on the outside, Rashee Rice on the outside. You know what I mean? Then you got Hollywood Brown in the slot. Then you got Tyreek Hill in the backfield. Shoot, he used to play running back. You have him in the backfield coming.
Play running back now.
I'm not just saying, like doing like crazy stuff, still coming out the backfield playing wide receiver as well. That could be a scary offense for a lot of guys. You know what I mean? What you gonna do there with all that speed and promising there? But yeah, if the Chiefs are serious interested in going to get Tyreek Hill, they need to do it ASAP.
Well, I don't know that
more about
it's this is pure speculation because nobody knows anything, but I don't know that the Dolphins are ready to do that yet. I think almost that front office is thinking if we do this, that pretty much signals that we're throwing up the white flag and we're done. And McDaniel, and it probably will happen anyway, but McDaniel and Chris Greer might be gone at the end of this season anyway. But it'll be interesting to see if things keep going the way they are in Miami, how quickly they try to move off of some of their guys.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything, bro. Like I told everybody last show, man, the chemistry with those two is there because Tyreek Hill knows the playbook. You don't have to sit back on the bench and read the playbook and go over some shit. He knows everything. He knows Mahomes. Like they got that chemistry. So if he does come back, I'm all for it. And Lou, would you say Rashee Rice coming back in a couple of weeks? Xavier Worthy might be back next game. You got it right there. You got the formula right there. But with the addition of Tyreek Hill, I can see it. Why not get him? Why not?
Yeah, why not get him? And also a little breaking news that JJ McCarthy, whatever his name is expected to be out before the 6
Yeah, he got sprained ankle.
And also Joe Burrow's out too for 6 months. Probably out for the season. Out for the season. He always hurt. He got a little turd.
But Browning stepped in and played well at the end. So you know what I'm saying? The Bengals gonna be okay. We 2-0 right now.
Well, he played 2 years ago as well.
Ain't bad.
I mean, he's not. I mean, for a backup, he's probably as good as any backup in the league right now that's on a roster. So, but no, it just sucks. With these guys, with all the injuries. I mean, you'd like to see as many stars in the league be able to kind of play throughout the season. Exactly. But yeah, I mean, they're saying Burrow potentially, surgery, and then maybe by middle of December he's ready to roll.
And also before we close out, did you guys see the shirts that the offensive players was wearing free for? And
somebody asked Coach Reed about that today. No, I did not see it.
Yeah, and a lot of people saying it was a bad look. You know what I mean? Because you're talking about free forward, and
it's hard. It's hard.
Free the demon, man.
It's hard to understand. It's hard to understand. What I'd like to hear, like what their thinking was, like, or is that like speaking to the league that hey, you gave him way too much of a suspension because there's nothing. I mean, you can't. I mean, he was already suspended, so it's not going to change.
Right.
So I don't know what the shirts what that meant. I mean, unless they were just showing solidarity for Rashee, like, hey, don't feel like you're not part of this team. We're still with you.
Okay. So what they said,
that would be my take. I don't know.
So what that guys,
I think that's what Coach Reed said when they asked him at the presser.
So what they said, guys, hey, we are 3 guys in the bar today. Since Nick is going to be out for the rest of this week. So
watch this. That's it. We're not going to talk about this game anymore this week. We're on to the Giants. Chief on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Lou said, "I'm done. It's over. Well, okay,
That's
man.
it.
We didn't.
I got it out.
We didn't put belt to ass. It's over now.
Thank you for bearing with me and going overboard.
Gotcha.
But sometimes you just got to let it out. That's it. Flush it. Move on to the next.
But before we flush it, the remaining schedule is looking like the Chiefs going to be. A lot of people say it look like the Chiefs going to be picking up top of the draft. I'm just saying.
Don't go that far.
That's what some people say. But with that said, we'll see you guys Wednesday. I'm Hence Todd, there's Lou Montana, and there's Andre Tillman, the coach. All right, guys.
Peace.
The demon is returning to New York.